So here we are, another day of building the chicken coop, and now I'm going to be looking for some posts that are suitable. You see, what we're working with here is not top-notch quality wood. It's just whatever I have laying around, and after all, we do live in Spain where wood is not very available like it is in the US. Plus, I don't have a suitable car to go scavenging for pieces of lumber that will work as posts. So I'm gonna find 12 posts, see what we can do with this scrap wood that we have laying around. Okay, let's get some. Look, this is a good one. I think you can carry. Watch out for those, okay? Maybe. No, these ones are too thin. This can be used for other parts, but not for the part we need now. Now I found lots of good pieces, Claire. We have more than enough. Ready? Here. Because I don't have money for new ones. It costs money to buy new things. Now I've got all of my materials selected, and we're gonna choose 12 of these to use as posts, the most robust ones that will be ideal for a post. This is one of my favorite pieces of infrastructure. It's so simple. It's a gravity-fed faucet system. I have an IBC tank up there at the top, and it just is so useful to have running water all the time. No matter how your pump is doing, you can always fill up that IBC tank with secondary pumps, and it's just a good investment to make when you have the time on your own homestead to have a gravity-fed system. I'm just gonna rinse out this. We're gonna start up here at the top, fill this little hole with some stones, put our posts in, and then fill in with the cement. I think if I were to do this again, I'd do it in smaller layers. Make sure that I have enough cement coverage on the bottom. Yeah, definitely you want to do this, I think, in smaller layers of stones and cement. Now let's check to make sure we're level. Make some final adjustments. Okay. That's good enough for a chicken coop. You know, one of the best things about having rocky soil is that you're never in need of filler, cement filler. So you always have lots of little stones to go around. Here's a look at how rocky our soil can be in some spots. So I'm collecting stones here. So as you can see, I'm making some progress. I've got 1 and 2 posts in, and now I'm gonna put up these support posts here that will allow me to make the nesting area for the chickens, and will allow me to create a slight slope with sandwich boards, so I'm easily able to clean off the manure, the chicken manure, and feed it into the composting chicken run system. Let's get started on doing 1 more or maybe 2 if the rain doesn't come up here on us. This week's going to be a rainy week. Luckily, it's about the first big rain that we have planned in the forecast for months and months and months around here. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope we get a good soak. So it started to rain. Let's get this post in the ground. So I came to check on the land after a much needed rain event, and we have all the potholes full of water. Things seem to be holding up well. The cement is doing well and nothing is falling apart. The land is absorbing the water quite well, except for here in this area. These half moons that I dug a while back are doing very well and have filled up with water. Unfortunately, the tree that I planted there was dug up by a wild boar, so something that I should be implementing more throughout the land. And here's another example there with the carob tree and some sorghum. It's really great to see the land get a nice soak, and over the next few days you'll see this whole area transform into a nice green landscape. Yeah, I'm really happy that the water doesn't pool up here. It's a sign that all the vegetation is doing its work. If the water were to pool, it would definitely pool around here at this downspout of this building here. Eventually I would like to capture water here, but it's a great area to soak up water, and pooling doesn't happen so far. And it's always a bit greener down here because of this downspout. Some of our more tenacious weeds are easier to get out when the road is nice and soaked. Here we are, another day at Marcia Garden, and we're going to continue filling in the post holes with cement, and I've got the correct cement now. Before I was just using up material that I had laying around, and now it should do better than what I had previously, but I don't think there was anything wrong with doing it the way I had. Hopefully by now I can keep the chickens out of my garden. They're digging it up, and pretty soon I can start to plant some fall crops. Here's the progress so far. I've got 7 posts in. Still lots more to go. So let's get back to work. A few things I've learned already by doing this is that first off, you have to have, I think it might be obvious for a lot of people out there that have more experience than I do. Don't mix all of your concrete at the same time. It's definitely going to make it a lot harder and get down to the bottom where there are dry spots. And also another lesson learned is when I'm filling up my buckets with rocks, to only fill it about halfway so they're easy to manage, and I'm able to pour them directly into the hole before setting the post. I'm going to do half a bag per post, about half of these 25 kilogram bags. Now I have a little helper. Alright, let's put some cement in. Let's get closer. A bit more. Yep. One more and then Papa will do it, okay? There. Alright. My turn.
¿Se seca el cemento?
Yep. The concrete will be very hard.
El pequeño está un poco seco.
No, now I'm making sure that it's level. You look at the bubble to make sure it's in between those lines. That means it's okay. Is it okay, Ara? You check it? It's okay? You're going upstairs? Up there again? Down to the last 2 posts. So here we are on our last post, and As I transition here, moving from being a teacher and moving towards the trades, this is one of the most rewarding things that I can do here on the countryside as I look for a job. I've just been certified as an electrician, and now I am on the hunt for a job here. And it looks like there's lots of work. I've got a job interview tomorrow, so I'm happy about that. And I'm really looking forward to having this space here in the countryside, my garden, as a place to experiment, to learn to weld, to do basic cement, mortar, and plumbing, so that I can become more skilled in these areas. And that's one of the things, the most rewarding things I find about this work here at the countryside, that you always have this sense of achievement after completing a task, and you can see it in front of your eyes. That was, for me, one of the hardest things about being a teacher for over 12 years is it was really frustrating to see the delayed satisfaction of seeing your work. I mean, you would see it after a year, and a student would pass an exam, and it was very rewarding to see them pass it, but sometimes the day to day, it just seemed like you are a babysitter trying to keep these kids in line, and that's what really got to me. And I'm really grateful to have this place here in Spain. And while economically I might not be in the best of situations, I am so privileged to have a piece of land to work on, to live this lifestyle here in Spain. So let's get to work and fill in this last post hole. And then to wrap up, I'll give you a tour of what we've done so far and some things to come. So here we are. I'm going to give you a quick tour of what we've got so far on this chicken run, and a brief explanation of what this is really, because I don't think I explained very well in the previous video. This is going to be a compost making machine, a chicken run, where you start with a pile of compost, unfinished compost at the far end, up towards where they lay eggs, and then you slowly move them further down. And that is based off of a design by Geoff Lawton, and he explains it very well in a video. I'll link that down in the description below, but here I'm just going to show you how it could be put into practice on an individual scale. This is what I've got going on so far. So it might be a bit overkill with the cement or the concrete, but I think it's definitely worth it, because we're in a very windy area. We've got 6 posts going all the way up on each side, and it's 3.5 meters wide by 10 meters long. That way I have plenty of room to move around the compost. And here you'll see some of the upgrades that I'll be adding. This will be a washing station, a sink that a friend gave to me. I'm not sure if the sink should be installed up by where the eggs are laid, maybe to wash them off occasionally, or to put it down at the entrance of the door where I'll be taking compost out. So if you have any advice on that, let me know, please. And also, some upcoming things that I'll be doing is adding this tube, digging a hole for any water pipes or electrical to go pass through there, and then I'll feed it up along another post. That will be one way to get access into the chicken run in a safe way, where I can feed tubes without having to dig a hole over and over again. As you can see, a lot of these are quite tall, but others are very short. I'm working with scrap wood here, and I'll have to add some more pallet wood to extend it to 2 meter length that my chicken wire is. So that's what I'll be doing probably in the next video. And then finally we'll be adding some chicken wire. For those of you following along so far, thanks so much, and stay tuned for the next installment of the Chicken Run series.